In today's video, I want to share a story that goes deeper than travel itself. What does it really mean to see the world, not as a tourist snapping photos, but as a migrant chasing work, new homes, and new beginnings? This is the story of a couple who met in Dublin, built memories in Brazil, France, and Switzerland, and spent months working in Canada. Their journey isn't just about crossing borders, it's about struggles, sacrifices, and the unexpected rewards that come with starting over again and again, and always learning and always growing. Maybe you'll see a piece of your own story in theirs, or maybe it will inspire you to finally take that step you've been thinking about. Either way, here we are. Let's dive into their journey.
Capitu.
Travels with you as well.
Yeah, all the
She
time.
came all the way from
Like, many people, they afraid.
Yeah.
They just, oh my God, like kind of how will I settle in that country? How will I do in this country? What is the secret? How can you freely like kind of travel around and just be so comfortable?
I mean, you just need to keep it open-minded, because a lot of people that I see that the biggest problem is that they want to keep their culture. I mean, we still keep our culture, but they want to keep doing the things that they do in their country in a different country. And you kind of need to adapt. You need to be able to adapt to their culture as well a bit, like to their rules, because then it's a bit easier to adjust in the places. Like, for example, here in Switzerland, I feel like they are more quiet, more like they have a lot of respect with the surrounding. Like, they don't want to make a noise around people, and that's what disturbs them the most as well. We see a lot of tourists coming and speak loudly, and
Yeah, we don't know how much money we need, for example, to save before we go to the next country. And then we just try to have at least 1 or 2 months for paying the first rent.
yeah.
And then after,
And
yeah,
after
we figure
survive.
out. Maybe the first few weeks we try to not
we save up.
waste too much money
Yeah.
going out and stuff like this. And then as soon as we see how the country are, how much money we make and how much we need to live on the country, then we start to enjoy a bit more the place.
Yeah.
When we decided to cross Canada, like we didn't know how much we needed to stay in Vancouver. So on the way to cross, we didn't do any much fancy thing. We tried to move to visit a lot of
We
places,
sleep
but
in a
like
car.
we sleep in a car sometime.
Yeah.
Sometime we're not gonna eat in a restaurant. We're
Yeah.
gonna make our own food like this. Yeah.
That's how you save.
Yeah. Sometime. Yeah. We do this.
We prefer like freedom over comfort. So
Yeah.
the freedom of and people feel like, oh yeah, but I like my this and this and that. But it's such enrichment when you get to the country and you know this all. I don't know, like you feel so small but so big at the same time.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things in the world to see, so many things to do, and so many culture to learn about that we prefer to go more local, like to try to get to less
We are
tourist
going-
parts,
yeah.
and then get to the local culture, local food, local.
Yeah, we have been traveling sometime and we just put a tent on people place, like a Airbnb thing,
Yeah.
but we pay like $20 for the night. But like this, yeah, some people ask us, yeah, but if you travel there and there, it's gonna cost you like $1,000 a week, but we're like, yeah, but we're not gonna pay $300 a night in
night,
some
yeah.
fancy hotel every time we travel. So
And so now you're here in Switzerland,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So what are advantages and disadvantages from your point of view? Like obviously you experienced travelers, and so because every country, like there's no perfect country,
No, of
right?
The country itself is pretty clean, like pretty straightforward. Like, so it's very clean, it's very secure, very easy to go around here. The only thing that we miss a bit, especially me coming from a Latin country, that we are very welcoming, is this, that I think like people are very antisocial here. I think that's the only problem with Switzerland. Like they are very everyone in their own space,
Yeah.
and it's very hard to make friends when, well, we are lucky because we're in a touristic city, so we have a lot of expat, like a lot of foreigners that come and live here, so that we have a lot of friends. But with the Swiss, it's really rare to make friendship with them. It takes a bit more time.
And what do you think, kind of how much kind of money people should have at the very, very start when they actually, if they want to move over?
in Switzerland, we came here, we had like maybe €5,000. And for Switzerland is not a lot at all, because you can easily pay like 2,000 already just in one rent. But we came here with 5,000, and we had some friends, and we got someone helping us to set up the first few weeks until we find a flat. And then I came here already having a job, so I knew that at the end of the month I was already gonna receive a salary. And at the end of the first month we have our first flat and we have a first salary, and everything was settled. And we didn't have to do we didn't have to save like 50,000 and be prepared. We just came here. When we got a job, when they call me and tell me if you want the job, you have a job, and then we say okay, let us 2 weeks the time to sell the car in Vancouver and to pack the stuff, and 2 weeks later we were here. We just took a flight, came here straight, and then
I think it was the fastest decision we made.
We came with 2 suitcases and figure out the thing.
People pass through our lives, some stay, some don't, but every single one leaves us with something that helps shape who we are. I am Tanya, and if you're new to the channel, we are travel-loving families who's explored every country in Europe and spent time living in places like Thailand, Spain, and Ireland. We love sharing real-life tips to help you travel, maybe inspire you to move abroad or try a different way of living. So if you're curious about life beyond the usual routine, you're in the right place.